let's first focus on these two women, Davies and Deeming, and the disconnect the Liberal Party seems to have at the state level. Where do you think they're going wrong?
Well, Davies and Deeming speak for millions of Australians. They have a very common sense approach. They're merely giving voice to the concerns that a lot of people in our society have on whatever issue it might be. And they're exactly the kind of people that we should have in our political arena. I mean, Moira Deeming is somebody who's tenacious, she's outspoken, has courage. And also the thing to understand here in Victoria, Fred, is that the Liberal Party has been decimated, and they only have 2 representatives in the Western metropolitan part of Melbourne, only 2. Moira is one of them, or was one of them. So now they have 1. So they have halved their representation in the western suburbs of Melbourne, which is exactly the part of the state and exactly the part of the city that they need to be going to win. These are low income, working class, high migrant areas. They were disproportionately affected by lockdowns. They're doing it tough in terms of rising cost of living, inflation, energy bills. This is where the Liberal Party needs to be going to win votes and to actually become a viable opposition. And instead, they're embroiled in this completely self-inflicted internal controversy. So, look, this is the issue. They have to be brave. You have to have courage. You've got to stand up to people like Daniel Andrews, because otherwise he's going to just keep doing what he's doing without any effective opposition. And it's like I say, I think people like Moira, perhaps can, augment or nuance their style now that they're in politics rather than outside politics. But the kind of things that Moira is saying is consistent with the concerns of so many people here in Melbourne and across Australia.
There's so many similarities between Moira and Tanya. I mean, not only in their style, but also, as you say, in their electorates. Western suburbs, often largely migrant, but good, solid, working people wanting to raise families and wanting the government to get out of their lives.
Well, that's right. I mean, these are people that don't have a voice in our politics. There's, 25 to 30% of Australians that don't believe that they have a valid political representation at the state or federal level. These are people that usually vote Labor, typically and historically, but Labor, because they are woke on cultural issues, they support mass migration, which is suppressing wages, and they're going hard on climate change, which is pushing up bills and destroying jobs. They don't have a voice in the Labor Party anymore, and they find that often the Liberal Party, when they do have someone that's going to speak for them, like Tanya or Moira, that the Liberal Party doesn't want to hear from them either, that they're pushing them out and pushing them to the side. So, look, I think that there's a real issue, not just for the Liberal parties here. I mean, as you know, the Liberal Party is in opposition everywhere other than in Tasmania. They need to find a new way and a better way of speaking to, they talk about the quiet Australians and the forgotten Australians. Well, these are the people. The outer western suburbs of Sydney and Melbourne, the regions of our nation. We've been touring through our regions. I had a chat with you from Tamworth and also from Bathurst and other places around the nation. These are the people that are down and out, being left behind. They need to have a voice because our democracy and our nation depends on it.